okay, well, what does this look like now when, we are looking for corporate sponsorship and stuff? Let's really look at what our ask is beyond sponsoring this event. Why would it be so bad to really, look at the product, make sure it's a good product for our community, right? Which a lot of it won't be. So that right there should just, okay, well, we don't need that because that's really going to be bad for people. People are already dying of a lot of diseases. We don't want to get anybody else sick. Okay, so let's move that. Okay, if they pass that, okay, now let's look at their company. Let's look at their company makeup. They should be able to show us their CEOs, their vice presidents. Okay, do they reflect our culture and our community? No. Okay, well, we'll push on then, because there are those that do. So all it is we don't need to focus so much about like what's wrong. We're just trying to focus on what would be better and do better and saying we could do better. Right. Like, I can't be mad at you, bro. I get it. You want sponsorship. You want to get your monthly check. I understand. I was there. I was a sponsored athlete at one time too for Tylenol. It was great. I got $25,000 a year. Back then, that was a lot of money for me. I was like, cool. I can do this. All I got to do is take a couple pictures, do a couple things here and there. I didn't have to do anything that these people had to do. I literally took like 4 pictures, had to do some photo shoots, and that was about it. And, but I didn't have that conscious level at that point. Like, and I also don't judge people about their conscious level, because that's something that comes with what? It comes with time. Yeah. Knowledge. Experience, right? I mean, when you wake up out your sleep because you realize, dang, I can't mess with that no more. Those kind of moments, we all have them. When we wake up, we're like, can't do that no more. Right. And it's just that feeling. And it's like, it's hard. But really, when you really know, and then it's not hard anymore. You're just like, oh, it's just better not to focus on that anymore. So for me, it's not like, I'm just like, those two companies are not the end all be all, right? We're now we're looking at we're really looking at how we can regrow hip hop in a sustainable way. We're looking at how we can re-involve the Black and brown communities again. Like, what does that look like? Why is hip hop not Black and brown anymore? Why is our scene the way it is? So looking at things like that, looking at just organically how culture and communities work, for example, if I really cared about this and if I really wanted more Black kids into breaking, what would I do? Well, I'd probably just go practice over in an area like a center that was over there, because I know they're going to be at that center. And if I know if I'm just practicing enough, they're going to wander over, I'm going to wander over to them. And that's how it all starts, right? We know it because that's how we all started. Right. So it's just that cultural regrowth. I mean, I think that, there's different levels. Obviously, some people are more interested in culturating the events more. Some people are just more interested in regrowing the culture more in different neighborhoods. It's on a lot of our hearts and minds. So there's a bunch of us now, and we just keep growing. We start out kind of small, but now, we have these weekly meetings about it, and it's getting more and more interesting because you see that people just want more. They want to do better. Yeah. They want to we're kind of like, this doesn't feel like hip hop anymore. It doesn't feel,
Right. It's a good time to do it because people are really receptive right now.
Right.
People are really receptive of how can I change? How can I be better? How can I make the situation better?
Right. We got to do something, man. Hip hop is for the community. It's by the community for the community. So we don't have to, accept anything less. And people have been really tripped out about this word sellout lately. And it kind of trips me out because it used to be real basic. It was a basic understanding, you don't sell out your culture. Right. It was just 101. You do that, boom, you're gone. Nobody's going to be checking for you anymore. It does not matter. Somewhere along the line, we forgot about just some of those simple, basic, 101 principles. You know what I mean? Like the paying your dues, earning your stripes, don't sell out, pay respect to those that came before you. There was just a basic model, right? And it was good because it kept you in check. It made it so you couldn't just go for self. Even that idea, oh, she's going for self, she's going for self. It used to be kind of negative. You got to remember, you got a bunch of people not just behind you, but around you. Like if it's only you getting through, what's the point, you know?
Mm-hmm.
So there's all of that that would be great to start reinstilling in these different generations that are just not familiar with it. They're not familiar with it. It's not their fault. They just didn't grow up in that time. They weren't acculturated to it like that. They're getting acculturated just now straight out through like the breaking events and things.
Yeah.
So we don't get a chance to like talk. We don't get a chance to like, you know, chop it up, break bread, and just, you know, kind of put them through some of the tests that we were put through, you know?
Yeah, and that's something too, like I've talked to some people about like wishing Project Blowed was back, you know? Because I think a lot of these MCs that are out there right now would not even be at the level they're at. They would be at a better level, or they just wouldn't be out there because they forgot, please pass the mic real quick.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, it was a testing
You
ground.
to, yeah.
And you had to come ready, and
Right.
it could be anybody's
stage,
right. It could be anybody's day.
Happen, you know what
right.
I mean?
Right. And it also gave you
hard work.
It gave you the stripes. You know what I mean? Like it gave you your, you know, you earned your creed, and that's part of it. And I think, you know, I don't think it's the same if you just go, you know, enter a bunch of battles and that's how you're earning your respect. Like that's how you're getting known. I don't know, man. It used to be you really had to put in that work, and you had to let people know who you are and what you repping, and all of that. It was just all part of it. So all of that stuff, which is, you know, I feel like everything comes back every 20 years, right? Mm-hmm. So we're at that 20-year mark because stuff started getting really wacky right when 2000 hit. Everything. Like I can look at the footage too, and I'm just like, I watched the footage like right when 2000, and I go, how did it go from this, even in 99 to this? Like, whoa, even what people were wearing. And I was like, oh man, I looked at some of my outfits hosting the summit. I'm like, why did I have those? Like, I had some like boot cut capris on. Like, how do you even, I didn't even know you could have capris that were boot cut because they don't even go down to your boots. You know what I mean? I know. I was like, oh, those aren't flattering. Like, they don't look good. And then I looked at this shirt I was wearing. I was like, what was I? Yeah, but it's a lot, you know. But there's a lot to think about.
That's something I wanted to talk about too. Is just that I love the fact that you always have the panels at the summit. I think it's important that you have the panels because it makes everyone sit down for a second. Okay, let's take a break from battling, and we're gonna have a panel, and we're gonna talk about some real stuff. Right. And I had the honor and privilege to be able to be part of the very first ever B-Girl Summit panel. Right. And that was a huge, for me, was huge that I got to be a part of that. One, because I've just, you know, since birth have been super involved with hip hop music. My mom had me listening to music when I was, you know, in the womb. You know what I mean? And it's just always been a part of it.
Shout out to my Dukes.
Yeah, for sure. Where's she at? Here we go. You know, I keep her right next to me.
Oh, beautiful.
Yeah, so, you know, I grew up around it. But then when I went to college, I started an all-female hip-hop crew. And we all came from different cultural, ethnic backgrounds, all four of us. So we're a very diverse, like, worldly group that we were in. Right. And then through that, I traveled to LA with them because I went to school up north in Monterey.
Oh, right.
Out here, but I started making music up there. And we came down to do, what was it? Divine Feline. We did Divine Feline, and I ended up meeting a bunch of, like, Divine Feline had all the elements, but it was all women. And so I met all these dope females. I was like, whoa, because where we were at, we were like the only female crew doing it. Wow. And I had started practicing with my friend Kit. She got us into it. She was a B-girl and from the Bay. And she was like, I want to practice with people, but I don't have anyone to practice with. So that's how I started doing that. Like all at the same time of making music and meeting all these females from all over music. I started working on my capstone, my senior thesis, which was all about women in hip hop. And I interviewed different women in hip hop from the Bay Area all the way down to San Diego. And it was just a really big deal to me because, like, I was supposed to interview you. I don't know if you remember that at Juice. But I was so nervous. I'm going to tell you the truth. I was so nervous to even approach you
That's
because
so silly.
I know it's silly right now. I'm like, over
But
that.
I get it. Yeah, I
But
mean,
I
when
was
you're young,
like,
you got
because
those
I
kind
seen
of
you in
feelings.
books, you know, I had to research
Right.
and study the history for my capstone. So I did like a
That's
10-page
cool.
paper along with interviewing women from now. So it was like the history plus the her story
Wow.
plus,
Right.
right? So I'm not gonna lie, the first time I saw you at Juice, I was there with my camera. I was so nervous to even ask you. Like Peppa too. I was nervous to talk to Peppa. I was like, hi. I
I'm
heard
not
you want to
always
be on
that
the
nice at
Juice.
practices either, because sometimes I'm just practicing and I'll be like, yo, there's people that like to chat at practices, but I'm not one of them. Like I
Right.
like to practice, but then when we're done, then we go eat or something. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Everybody
Yeah.
chills, but like I'm just like, man, I gotta just keep going while I'm still warm, you know? So when I see people around, I'm just like, just kind of catch up
But
later. But
I was so
I feel
nervous
you.
at the time, my little poetic hat, my little camera, like, you know what I mean? But then it wasn't until like I became part of Zulu Nation.
Right.
That's when we became closer.
Right.
And I just, like I said, it was just such a privilege and honor to be able to be on that panel with all of these dope women. Like
Yes.
I said, people that I had read about in books, or I just reconnected with Rachel. That's her name, right?
Rachel Ramis. Yeah.
Yes. So I read
Yeah. She's
her book in
amazing.
college. So when she was interviewing us, I was just like, girl, I read your book
Yeah.
in college. Da, da, da,
She's
da.
doing so many big things now as a director and stuff. I'm just like, man,
Yeah.
she edited all of our early B-Boy Summit videos from, well, actually she did like the 2001 through, I don't know, 2002 and 3. I don't know. She did several years, but yeah, you know, that day was the best day of the summit that year. You know, we had the
The
B-Boy
Juice
Summit
come up.
one day and we had a separate day for the B-Girl Summit.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was a great day, honestly, that day. And you know, we don't really capture it enough as we used to. Like we used to videotape everything. I think we have footage of it. We're kind of at a stage right now where we are learning more about archiving. We have so much archive footage
Yes, you
from
do.
every single year. So we're
Like,
learning more about that and we're trying to actually do something with all that footage. People haven't seen nothing that we have. I mean, unless you were there, like even if you got the video for the years that we made videos, we haven't even made a video since 2010, first of all, but we kept doing the summit. So we haven't put out a video since then, but
wow.
you know, we have so much dope footage. It's so cool now and then to go through it. But you know how fast technology's evolved, like you know how hard it is to get a hold of those mini DV cameras? Like that
Girl,
was our
I
biggest
have so
issue.
much footage I need to digitize.
Yeah.
I'm trying to find someone
It's a
to do it
big
for me.
job, but it's you know, it's a really important role. That's something that, you know, Africa Bambaataa used to always tell me. He every time I'd run into him, he'd be like, "Ah, Queen Asia." And he always say the same thing. He goes, "When are you gonna make the documentary about the B-Boy Summit?" He used to always tell me, I'd be like, "What do you mean, Bam? You really think we should make a whole documentary about it?" He goes, "Yes, you have to. It's part of history. You got to document it. It's really
Yeah.
important." And, you know, I always think about that, you know, because, you know, he's right. And so the crazy
Oh,
thing is,
Irvin's got us, yo. Irvin's got us.
yo, I know he does,
That's
yo.
what's
He
up. And
does.
Irvin, let
He's
me
going to
just
be
shout out
part of
Irvin
the
real quick.
team.
Let me shout him out real quick.
Yes.
Irvin, yo, okay, Homeland. I miss Homeland so much. That's where I first met you, brother. Hit me up. Let's get you on MLC Radio. I really want to talk. I want to chop it up with you because speaking of, we were talking about Red Bull. I was just flipping the channel because my son loves watching the Red Bull breakdancing channel because he wants to breakdance to it. So I see Irvin on there. I'm like, oh, I know him.
Good. That's good, man. I mean,
Word.
hopefully they got some good people on there spinning and DJing and different things.
Ooh,
Yeah.
Tasha is saying to license the footage. What's up, Tasha Hunter is on the building. License the footage through Library of Congress, and you get paid every time it's used.
Oh gosh.
Ooh,
Let me take a little note on that.
we need to do the show on there too, because we're gonna make a book
Okay.
of this show. All the interviews from this show are gonna be in a book, because we gotta document 2020, y'all. We gotta be.
No, yeah, I mean, that's very important. I mean, this year with the summit, that's what we did. We just, you know, a lot of people, it's hard in this day and age. People are tuning in to stuff, but then they're not tuning in because there's so much to tune into that people kind of, you know, they can only handle being online so long. But, you know, we just got finished producing like 3-day event, like a regular summit, but
Yeah,
online. It was crazy. It was a labor of love. And the Friday night opening fell a little short. I mean, I had really high expectations. It was we had all this footage that we were going to release that nobody had ever seen, and we were super excited. And then, like I said, our first mini DV camera took a dookie dump. So then I had one other one. I overnighted it. In this day and age, that's very expensive. You don't want to do that.
Yes.
And so it could be ready. And it was just me and my friend who was helping out. Our wires got crossed, and it didn't end up happening, which was a shame. But we still have some cool archive footage. But I'm telling you, man, when we actually show the footage that we have, I mean, not just the dancing, but the panels. I mean, the dancing too. I mean, so many of these legends that have now departed this earth. You know, it just shocks me. So many people that have departed this earth.
For a second hour, like we didn't even get to tap into No Easy Props. Maybe you could talk about that for a few minutes because we got like 10 minutes left. But I think like if you don't want to come on second hour, it's all good. I think I'm gonna just play a bunch of footage for people for the second hour.
Cool.
I've never seen.
Bust it out, man. Yeah. I mean, you know, this is about legacy, you know, preservation of culture and history and continuing the culture on. I mean, you know, as far as the summit goes, the mission is always the same. We change because hip hop, you know, we're creative in hip hop. Hip hop is about originating, creating, and pushing, you know, limits and boundaries. So we try to do that every year. And I'm really happy that we have such good people that are always a part of it that can help do that. And the groups too. I mean, like, you know, we're all about, you know, featuring and focusing on groups that are from these iconic areas, you know, in LA or different parts of the US that, you know, have created and originated these styles of dance and culture that people don't even check on because they think they're too old, or, you know, they're like, dang, well, I didn't know anybody was doing that anymore. I didn't know there was these pop lockers around anymore. You know, it's just always amazes people. But that's what it is. And then with No Easy Props, you know, we just, No Easy Props, it was more like, look, we started that a long time ago. That was started in 97, but we really switched it to a nonprofit in 2010.
Okay.
Mainly to do the summit because it became really clear. I was like, you know, I don't want to charge people. I was getting so sick of going to other events and paying like $25-$30 for 2 days, $50. And I get it, you know, there's nothing wrong with that. But I just saw the summit as something different. I was like, no, this is for the people. Right. You know, we don't want to charge the people. This is for them. You know, we can do this differently. So that was the goal. And to create program for kids. That was the second thing. So that was really why the nonprofit, we had the program for kids, Hip Hop 101 anyway, but then we were like, yo, let's do this all through a nonprofit umbrella. So, and the goal with No Easy Props was make it so that, you know, like say you have a idea that you want to do, or someone else has a hip hop project, or it could be, as long as it's dealing with hip hop, they could basically do it under the umbrella of our nonprofit because we're insured, right? We have the licenses, the insurance, because that's the whole point. You don't want to have to get all that yourself. It's not affordable. It makes projects too hard to do, right?
Right.
So our thing is, you know, you can do it under our umbrella. We'll even help you if you need our help. If not, that's cool too. But it's so we can help people do projects that they want to do. You know what I mean? And it makes it everything a little bit more affordable, because even as educators, a lot of people won't have the proper insurance they need to be like to work for certain places or whatever. So if we have that, that means that we can just do it as our nonprofit and work it out. So it's going pretty good. We got a lot of cool projects. We just started Inner City Dance League and the housing projects. That's our next project, and we're super stoked because it's something we've been wanting to do. So we're just starting it online. We started it this past summer, and it's going really good. And really, again, we're just trying to regrow hip hop in these communities and make it accessible and bring in all these OGs to teach. Yeah. And we're bringing in OGs so they can learn those classic styles that are from those areas they live in, from the people that started them.
Yeah.
You know, shoot, it's good stuff. So that's what's up. That's what it is.
Did that painting recently? Or
Say it again?
You just did a painting recently. I saw you post.
Oh yeah, that was at the 5 Points Youth Foundation over in South Central. It's what is it, like Western and Florence, and we all painted back there. Create had he does like an annual like paint-a-thon every year. And that was cool. That was really fun, man. It feels so good. I know we're in this COVID and people were still like, so like, you know, we feel confined, but when we can have those moments to get together and be safe, you know, mask it up, whatever, keep your distance, but still like be around each other. I mean, we can do that, you know, we're realizing like that's okay. We can do that. We can go in the parks, we can go outside, and it feels really good to just be able to get free and do that. So yeah, that was fun. That was a lot of fun. Yeah.
Word. A lot of people have been saying hi to you. We've just been really in the interview.
What's up? I can't keep looking at it because every
It's
time I
cool.
look at
There's
it,
a
I
lot
lose
of
my
people
train
in
of
there.
thought.
But I
Oh,
do
big
want
up,
to shout
y'all.
out a few people because I know Crazy Legs was up in here.
Oh, word.
DJ Newmark had given you a
Newmark.
what's up?
Much love,
Sheila
brother.
Star. P Swift. He's been talking his head off.
Oh.
What's up, man? Yeah, so I just want to shout out the few people. Vanessa, you can check out Vanessa's interview if y'all want to on the IGTV MLC radio series. Yeah, Raj, the OG, is talking about B-Boy Summit Pasadena.
Oh, man. Well, we got to bring
He
it
said
over to
UCLA went
Pasadena.
off.
Maybe one day. We're trying to do it more, you know, have more days in. Well, first of all, Grand Park is our presenting partner now, which is really cool. So
That is cool.
one day will always be at Grand Park,
Mm-hmm.
you know, just one day. And then the other day, we do like to move it the other days around, you know, but I'm like really determined every day to do something, and like every year to do something in like South LA or places, you know, where it's like a lot of these dance forms took root. Like we got to go there, man. We can't like expect everybody to come to Hollywood or come over here. It's like we should be going to these other places and having events there and making them accessible to people, right?
B-Boy
So
Summit Long Beach?
look, maybe so, man. I mean, you know,
Homeland is like already.
we always love Homeland.
As
As soon as Homeland opens up again, you know we got functions going off over there.
Oh,
we just,
girl, that's where that happened.
dude, I'm still tripping out on that. I kind of remember, but I kind of don't. That's such an extreme. I mean, that's a big wound.
Yeah.
Did you have something pop out, or was it because they had to just open you up to fix it?
They had to open me up.
Okay. It wasn't like your bone went like, boing.
No, it didn't.
Okay.
But my arm was like hanging. It was kind of crazy.
Man. You must have done something nutty, yo. I
wasn't practicing with women is what it was. Not to hate on you dudes. But
right.
As a B-girl, I wish we could have got into this. But as a B-girl, we have to dance a little bit different than the boys.
Yeah.
And I personally, I came from training with females. So like they taught me certain things a certain way. And then here I am trying to dance with some boys that I never danced with before. And then here, you know, next thing you know.
Next thing you know, I get it. I get you. I know.
Always stretch, y'all. Always stretch.
Yes.
It's a real thing.
It is. It is. We just finished filming this whole online series. We decided like when the COVID hit, we wanted to just work on a couple projects. So we were like, man, we always wanted to do like a No Easy Props Hip Hop 101 online series. So we filmed like 20 lessons, and that was a labor of love. Sometimes you think, man, I taught this so many times. I know how to teach this. But when you're out there on the concrete under the beating hot sun, and you don't have none of the niceties of your little indoor studios and, you know, mirrors and lighting, and you're just, you know, you're dealing with the sun moving, and Irvin knows because he was filming it, you know, and we were just out there struggling. And then you're realizing like, wait, I didn't say this, and I needed to say this because I did this move and I didn't explain it. We got to do it all again. Yeah.
Oh,
it was really intense. It was, I can't wait to put that out though. Cause, it's some
good
stuff. It's a really good learn. Like if somebody really wanted to learn the nuances of this dance, because we did it solid. We're like, okay, these are hour-long classes. We're going to start it out with like the history, like the understanding of what they're about to learn. So they really get it. Like they're starting to think, all right, that's why it looks like that. Oh man, that's why, that movement looks like this. Okay. So we give them the background of what they're learning, and we take them through stretches. We take them through the stretches, the groove moves, some strength and conditioning, and then we teach them like kind of two basic moves, so to speak, right? If it's like a top rock, we'll teach them two different styles. So within that, those 20 lesson plans, you're getting like 40 moves. So it's going to be expensive, y'all. No, it will actually, because we spent a lot of money making it, even though we did it outside. It's like, we got the editing hours.
Yeah.
and
But I mean, you're
everything.
gonna get like that type of material is.
It's going to be historic. I mean, we're like, man, this is going to live way beyond us. And
Right.
we realized that like with a lot of this stuff, it's not about teaching it for kids, adults, women, men. I mean, I get it, but if you can, it's basically on like, your level. Like even if you're a beginner, if somebody I really admire is teaching, I can take their beginner class. I'm still learning. You know what I mean? Like even if I'm not a beginner. So I think with this, that was the goal. What we keep it at a certain level, but pretty much anybody's going to learn, because you'll be like, dang, I never really did that right. Or man, I didn't realize that was supposed to be how it looked. So
Yeah.
yeah,
All
that's the
right,
goal
well,
with
we
that.
got 1 minute and 20 seconds left. I just want
Okay.
to say thank you so much for coming on.
Thank you,
Unless you want to
sis.
come on longer, but I'm sure you're busy. You're a busy woman. So
I got a grant to spruce up over
I figured
here.
that's
Yeah.
something. But it's all good, because what I'm gonna do, y'all, for the second hour is I'm gonna play old footage from the B-Boy Summit. So
Awesome.
it's gonna be dope. We'll do some visuals, have some dope music. Thank you so much, Asia1, for coming.
Thank you, Poetic
Finally,
S. Much
10
love,
years
sis.
later, 10 years
I
later, I
know.
interview you.
I know.
I love
And you
it.
still look the same. You still look so
Oh,
young and beautiful. And you've always just had such a good heart and, just so much intelligence and like
thank you.
energy radiating out of you for our community. So we're blessed to have you.
Thank
Thank you for
you.
having me. Much love.
Much love, y'all.
Much love, y'all. Catch you on the other side.